Hey there YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Mikey speaking. Today I wanted to talk to the federal employees about something in particular, your TSP account. I wanted to break down two interesting facts that you might have not known about your TSP account, depending if you're beginning in your actual federal career. And then I want to break into two more facts after this on how your TSP account could actually help you grow your stock account and your real estate account or portfolio. Stock portfolio and real estate portfolio. Yeah, we won't even get to how I said that. All right, so let's get started. First fact on the first half of everything. Your TSP can actually grow twice of what you put into it, more or less. Your federal employee, your federal agency will actually match you up to 4.5% as long as you put in 5%. So if you put in 5%, they'll match you 4.5%. What that means is roughly, I was looking at some of my old LESs, I was putting in about 200, they're matching me about 190. What that came out to yearly was, mind you, this is bi-weekly, yearly what that came out to was around $9,000 of contributions, which less than half of that, just slightly less, about 45%, somewhere around there, was all done by the federal agency. So that's over $4,000 of free money you're getting. Tip 2 is don't just throw your money into the G fund. So when you initially set up your TSP account, all your money by default will go into the G fund, which only will pay you about a 0.76 or something like that percent of return every year. If you actually look at some of these other funds, which I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you some interesting things that you can actually pull up on the TSP website yourself, they'll actually pay you 5 to 6%, which that's over a 500% difference yearly. And if you know anything about compound interest, that's a huge difference. That's the difference from having $1 million to $8 million. So let's actually bring you over to the computer so I can show you some of these funds and show you the life cycle funds. I really like those. All right, so I'm gonna go over some funds that I feel like would be best for starters to at least start putting their money in rather than the G fund. So if we're looking here, we have the G, F, and C fund, which the F and C funds seem to be doing pretty good. They're less risky than the S and the I, which I feel like will go better with some investors, but we'll see about that. It's all on preference and choice and when you're retiring. All right, so the G fund, if you're looking here, return year to date, 0.76, not even a whole percent. You're going to the F and C fund, which up here it tells you what the different funds are, basically securities. Then you have index funds and stocks. You're looking at the F and C fund, they have 400% difference, 500% difference. This is a huge difference. Even looking at the year-to-date return over here, you can always see that the F and C outperform the G, and they're not as risky as the S and the I. We pull up the S and the I, which are small cap investment funds, so a lot riskier than the other two, and international funds. Again, they do have higher returns depending on the year. Look at this, 27%. We remove the G and bring up the C. It did not, 31%. Bam! So the C fund is already showing that it's better overall. It actually beats this one every year. So if you just sit here and move your funds to the F and the C fund, which as you see here are low to medium risk compared to the G, you're looking at your money's gonna grow. And the key is leave your money in here until retirement. Don't touch it, just leave it be. As long as you're letting your money grow and consistently investing, when you come to retirement, you're pretty much set. Now, if you wanted to sit here and actually invest in all the funds, but didn't want to sit here and take the time of moving funds as you get closer to retirement, because the key is you want to be, in the beginning of your career, you want to invest risky. Towards the end of your career, you're actually going to want to sit here and move your funds into less risky funds. So let's say you have maybe 20% the S and the I, you're going to want to move majority of that when it comes maybe about 5 years to retirement into the F, C, and G funds, because as you're pulling out this money, you don't want, let's say, a Trump tweet to sit here and drop the stocks and you have 30,000 less into your retirement account. So these life cycle funds are very interesting. So what you do is you'll pick the year you retire. For me, if I was to stay a federal employee, it'll be around 2050. And it actually invests the funds for you into each one. So as you see here, 10% in G, 8% in F, 40% in C, 12% in S, and 28% in I. And as you get closer to retirement, it reallocates the money for you yearly, which I thought was actually really cool. I don't see it allowing me to go, like, in fact, let's say 2025. Because again, it moves the money for you automatically. So if you're looking at retiring in the next 5 years, this is actually closer to what your funds would look like. So you see a lot more into the G fund and the C fund. You do have still a nice 25% in the risky funds, but 75% of your portfolio is actually in these safer funds here. That's a huge difference compared to the 2051, where you're looking at this, you have over 25% of your funds over here. So just some interesting things. And again, as you get closer to retirement, it does all this for you automatically. So the only thing you have to worry about is making sure that your 5% is going into these accounts. So let's actually now go into the 2 fun facts that you can use to actually grow your investment accounts, whether it be houses or it be stocks. So the first one is the one I actually used. As your TSP account grows, I forget the exact amount, but as your TSP account grows, you can actually take a loan against your TSP account. What this loan will allow you to do is actually sit here and put a down payment on a house. Again, all this information is on the Thrift Savings Plan website, so you can look it up here, and you can contact them if you have any questions. So the loan will have a small interest rate. I want to say mine was back in 2016, and the interest rate was around 3.2%, and you pay it off within 1 to 5 years. The cool thing too is not like you have to sit here and dish out another check. It's taken out of your account automatically. So your TSP account stays the same. Even like, let's say you take a $10,000 loan, your TSP account is still the same amount. You'll take out that $10,000 loan against your account, but your account stays the same, and every paycheck you'll pay back a small amount to include the interest payment, which as you actually sit here and take out, when you take out that loan, it tells you exactly how much you're going to be paying every paycheck to return that amount back to normal. So it comes right out of your federal employee paycheck. You don't have to worry about figuring out how much you're going to pay, sending a check to anyone. It's all done through there. And again, if you have the means, you can pay it back within 1 year. If the payments are too high, you can spread it out across 2, 3, 4, or 5 years. It's a really great option. Fun fact, if you do leave the federal employee before you pay that back, you have 90 days to pay it back, or they take it out of your TSP, and then there's fees involved. So make sure you pay it back, just letting you know. So you can actually use your retirement account to start investing and buy a house if you don't have all the funds by taking a loan against your TSP. And once you pay back your TSP, you can do this all over again. So let's say year 3, you want to buy a house that you've been a federal employee. You can take a loan against it, put the payback at a year, pay it back in a full year, and come the next year, you can sit here and take a loan against it again and buy another house. And now you can take a bigger loan because your account has grown by another $9,000 if you've been doing the 5%. So great options you have with the TSP to start buying real estate. Now for stocks, it's a little bit different. This is if you were to leave the federal employee. Like, leave the job completely. You're never planning on coming back to be a federal employee. If you're leaving temporarily, you can leave your money in there, come back, and it'll still be there. You can start contributing to it again. But if you leave the federal force and don't intend to come back, you can actually take out all that money and put it into an IRA account or transfer it to an IRA account. So bam, now your TSP account becomes an IRA account, and this is how it becomes a stock account. You can sit here and buy and sell your stocks I would say do it wisely. Please do it wisely. But you can sit here and now you have a stock portfolio that you have control over, like my Webull IRA account, which I've showed you a few videos that I'm investing in, which I'm up pretty nicely, by the way. Thank you, Tesla. Anyways, so now you can use your TSP account to not only buy a house, but if you ever leave the force, all that free money that they paid you, they don't take that back. So that $4,000 you're getting every year, that's your money that you just threw into the IRA account. And now you have a bunch of stocks. So that was 2 quick tips on the TSP to get you started investing, and 2 things you might have not known about the TSP account that can actually help you sit here and get stocks and get real estate. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Quick reminder, like I think I said it earlier, if I didn't, my bad. I will be showing you next week my actual TSP account, breaking down how it's grown so you can see the different investments, how it's grown over the past 5 years, because I have been a federal employee for 5 years. I'm not saying I've contributed wisely throughout those 5 years, but you'll be able to take a look at that and be able to see my interest rate that I actually got on that loan, which that loan I did use to buy a duplex, which was my first investment property, which I really love that property. It's doing great for me right now currently. Anyways, that was a quick breakdown. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was helpful. If you liked the video, just let me know. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I would love to have a conversation about this. I know quite a bit about the federal force as I've been a federal employee for 5 years, but I don't know everything. So if you have any tips for me, please let me know. I would love to know things that I didn't know before that can help me or other people. Until next time, hope you enjoyed the video.